Thank you. So, firstly, I'm the Tony half. Okay, because some people, these names are switchable. So some people think, are you Nicki or are you Tony? So anyway, 10 minutes. We speak about this stuff for weeks. What can you do in 10 minutes? I've had to hone it down. And we were sitting in the hotel, and I'm going, have you got a flip chart? No. Have you got a screen and a projector? No. Okay, right. We'll have to be quick on our feet. But anyway, the first thing that we always do is ask you a question. Nicki has a wonderful question for you. So
yes, hello there. We're all about intimate relationships. We're all about love. We're all about any relationship you have, which is loving, whether that's with your children or with your parents or with your brothers or sisters or friends. And we just wanted to hone in for Shay and for you on intimate relationships. So who here is in an intimate relationship? Fantastic.
Whoa, round of applause.
Whoa, fantastic. And who here is single? So take a look around, see if there is anyone. Come on, keep your hands up. That's cool. And who here is not sure? There is always one.
Oh, there's one down the end.
Yeah, there's always one. Because this is such a...
absolutely.
Thank you. And this is such a kind of beautiful yet complicated subject. So as Tony said, we're just going to be really, really time sensitive here because we want to give you something. We've had lots of people that have already heard us speak, and there's a gentleman at the back there who heard us speak in Birmingham not long ago, and when he found out what we were going to teach, he said, "Oh, I heard you teach that last time." And we went, "Oh, sorry." And he went, no, I need to hear it again. So
yeah, and we could talk about a lot of different things. And on the weekend we did this event. It was embarrassing, really, because there were 60 people there, and we teach coaching as well. There were 60 people there, and I said to Nicki, I'm going to put some of our relationship stuff on, in the break. And so I put, some of our relationship. If you go to TonyNickiVee.com, we got loads of free videos you can watch. So I've just picked one. And suddenly I heard myself on the screen. There's all these people watching talking about masturbation. Okay. I don't think that was such a good choice of video, but anyway, there you go. So tonight we're not going to talk about that. We are
disappointed.
No.
I mean, it's interesting because Shay was, when we very first started out, somebody asked us, how did you get started? Somebody just asked us to go and speak about our relationship because they said, look, you seem to have, such a great relationship. And we would say, we had so many years doing it wrong that we found out through lots of personal and spiritual development, which is why we so support groups such as, the Inspired Group, because, that's how we got to a point where we're having the life we wanted to have and the relationship we wanted to have. And so, we just love to talk about it. And we called it Creating the Ultimate Intimate Relationship. And we used to have lots of people come and see us. And about 75% were women.
Yeah.
And then we had a promoter in London, and he said, maybe, the reason why you're having 75% women and, only 25% guys is because of your title. And we're going, what's wrong with our title? He's gone, it's just not really. He said, I've got a title for you, Love, Sex and Intimacy. So now all our stuff, as you can hear, about masturbation and I think pornography you talked about as well. It was shocking for people. It was 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So we want to just transfer to you something that, the results, there's so much pain in the world around intimate relationships. And what we want to share with you is something where, this has you have a more beautiful, loving, ultimate intimate relationship, and also some love, sex and intimacy as well.
So we're going to break it into 2 halves. Now, we've got 4 minutes for each thing, yeah? 2 halves. Now, the first thing is, we're going to do 2 slots, yeah?
Yeah, so this is just
one slot for men. Does that sound good? And 1 slot for women, yeah? So the first slot is for men, because in our world, and some people call us old-fashioned, men go first, yeah? Men go first. So we are going to just share with you 3 key things that women must have in their life that you as a man need to supply so that they move towards you consistently and continually. Would that be good?
Yes, okay. So when you said this is for the men, the women are all going, what? And now you're finding out, girls, that this is for the men to find out how to worship you and serve you in the way that you would love. Sound great?
And this is not taught in schools. So, most men grow up not knowing this stuff, yeah? And, we do our best, but, Anyway, we're going to share 3, and so it's easy to remember. It's called the 3 C's. Now, there are 2 alternatives to this. There's the deeper version, which we want to give you, but there is the light, fun version, which is all girls love chocolate, they love champagne and Chardonnay, they love
Crisps,
caramel shortcakes, that sort of thing. But these C's are a little bit deeper than that. So men, listen up. The first C is cherish.
Yes, and so what girls really love, guys, is for you to take care of them. And I'll just give you one quick story as a really good example of that. When I first met Tony, we actually got together. We was talking to a lady. We met in Frankfurt, got together in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and when we came back from there, we went for the weekend. We didn't really know each other. Came back getting married. And I moved in. I said to Tony, I'm coming down to London next week. I said I normally stay in a hotel. He went, no. You're with me now. You live in my house. So I actually just packed a case and moved into a house. Never been there before. And the first morning I get down into the kitchen and he finds me emptying the rubbish bin. And he comes down the corner and he goes, no. My woman does not touch rubbish.
She still tries occasionally. I catch her
Guys,
in the bin.
these women's faces, you have to see these women's faces. I go, yes, I want that. And also, he said, you don't put petrol in the car, you don't touch rubbish.
You would loan him.
Yeah. Anyway, we better carry on.
Yeah,
so
that's cherishing.
The second C is obvious, but we perhaps don't do it enough, yeah? And that is to compliment.
Yes. I mean, just the funny version. Obviously, women love to be told how they look great, they smell great, their hair's great and everything. But guys always say, so what do I do, Tony and Nicki, when she says, does my bum look big in this? Ever been asked that, guys? Right. So Tony's got the ultimate thing. I go, does my bum look big in this? He goes, no, I love your bum. All of it. Now, I can't quite decide whether that's a compliment or not, but he does it with such aplomb that it sounds great. So yes, just a compliment, just to love that woman's body, her whole soul and everything is what we obviously are looking for. So guys, that's the second C, compliment.
And the last one, which is probably the most important one, is to give your woman certainty.
Yeah, this is probably more like a serious thing, I think I'll try and see if I can find something to explain it. It's a bit like what's so many times in this modern world is where girls and boys, men and women, and of course, by the way, all that we're talking about tonight is exactly the same for same-sex relationships as it is for heterosexual relationships, because we're talking about masculine and feminine energy here. And so, when a woman is looking to a man to really get some certainty about where they're going, what they're doing, what time they're doing something, whatever. So many times what guys do is they turn, because in this modern day age they think that's what women want, they turn back to her and they go, well, you tell me. You tell me what you want to do, where you want to go, and men ask the women questions. Here's the thing, women really just want you to tell them what's going to happen, and they love it. They love that kind of really feeling led by a man so that he takes real charge of what's going to happen and he gives them certainty. We travel around the world, as Shay says, and I say, so what time are we leaving and all that? And if he turned around to me and said, well, I don't know, what time do you want to leave? I'd be going, oh my God, it's like being single. And where he's going like, okay, you need to get yourself ready for this time and we're going to be leaving right then, so I love that.
So guys, do you want an example? Just so that you've got something to practice with, yeah? So, look, we'll just check out the girls here, see the reaction. So girls, would you rather a man says to you, darling, would you like to go out to dinner tonight? And she says yes. And then he says, So where would you like to go? Would you want to go for a Chinese, an Indian, or fish and chips if you're a cheapskate? Yeah? So do you think they'd like that? Or do you think they'd rather, darling, I'm taking you out tonight. Now just get dressed up, make yourself look beautiful. I am taking you somewhere special. It's a complete surprise. There you go. So that's certainty, you see. That is certainty for a man. So, look, we wanted to give you like a little story. I don't know how we're doing for time. But anyway, the story's a great story.
Very quick version.
This is a story for men to understand a little bit what it's like to be in a woman's body. Would you like to hear that? Yeah? Okay, now, it's something that's best done with your eyes closed because it's easier to imagine, yeah? So if everybody closes their eyes, I'll tell you this little story, yeah? So firstly, eyes closed. This story takes place in New York, amongst the very high skyscrapers of New York. And there's a couple walking along, and the girl says to the guy, look, I'd love it if you would prove your undying love for me. And he said, darling, of course, anything, whatever you want me to do, I love you so much, I just would do anything you want. So she said, right, okay, all I want you to do is to go into this building and get in the lift and press the roof button. And I want you to go up onto the roof and I want you to jump off of the roof of this skyscraper. But I don't want you to worry because I am going to be waiting at the bottom. And she opened her handbag, and out of her handbag she got this net. And she said, don't worry, because I'm going to catch you. He's gone. I'd so want to prove my undying love for you. I'll do that. So he goes inside the skyscraper, presses the button on the lift, presses the roof button. It's a very fast lift. He gets to the roof very fast. And when he gets up there, he finds loads of men up there. And there's a guy. He said, what are all these guys doing up here? And he said, well, you need to go and ask that guy over there. So he goes over to the guy who looks like he's in charge, and he says to the guy, what are all these guys doing up there? He said, well, look, they're all up here trying to prove their undying love for their woman. And they're basically all supposed to jump off the building and not to worry because she's waiting at the bottom with the net. And basically they're all a bit nervous. So they're all hanging around. And so he said, well, I want to get it over and done with. Well, how do you do this jumping? So he said, well, look, you need to go over to that guy over there. He's in charge of jumping. So he goes over to the guy and said, so what do? I need to get this sorted, get it over and done with. So he said, well, the first thing you do is you've got to do this naked. Okay, so you need to go into that cubicle and take all your clothes off and then come back out and I'll show you how to jump. So he goes in, takes his clothes off, comes out naked. And by the time he comes out, it's like the cloud has blown in over this building, so it's very foggy and he can't really see much. But he saw the guy in charge of jumping. He said, OK, he said, look, I know it's a bit cloudy, but I just trust it, it'll be fine. So he says, what do I do? He said, well, look, all you've got to do is get on this plank. Now, this plank extends out over the edge of the building. All you've got to do is walk on this edge of this plank. And then when you get to the end, just jump and don't worry, she'll catch you. Okay, he's feeling a bit nervous, but he says, okay, I'm going to do it. So he gets on the plank, and remember it's cloudy, so as he gets to he edges it out, and as he gets to the end of the building, he looks down, he can't see the ground. It's like he's in the cloud. So he goes out a bit further, goes out a bit further, goes out a bit further, and then he feels with his feet, he feels the end of the plank. And at this moment, he gets very super nervous, because he's thinking, I'm not sure I can do this. So he turns round to walk back along the plank and go and sit with all the other blokes. And he was so in the cloud that he now couldn't see the building. And this, guys, is a little bit what it's like to be in a woman's body. It's because the innate energy of the feminine being is vulnerability. So imagine how vulnerable you feel out on that plank. And that's what it's like to be in a woman's body. And that's why she needs so much certainty. And if you don't deliver it, she'll get it for herself. So there you go. That's the story of the skyscraper.